Hello Aries, my name is Jason. Thank you for visiting my channel. Special thanks if you're revisiting my channel. This is your general tarot reading for the second half of December, which we should take you right through until the new year. I'm using the Celtic Tarot today. I've given the cards a pretty good shuffle. This reading could pertain to love, career, any projects you've got on, any questions at the forefront of your mind. You'll know within the first couple of minutes if this is resonating for you. So please take what's working for you and just move on if you like, if it's not. Okay, you go into the second half of December with the Ace of Swords. Fantastic. So there's a clear decision you've just made, or some information you've just received which has allowed you to move forward positively. Okay, so there's no more messing around. Finally got some clarity. So someone was keeping you waiting. It might have been something about, it could have been about a relationship or some work matter. It could be a new job, or whether perhaps if you're going to be working a job next year. Either way, you've been given this Ace of Swords from the universe, which is saying, yes, you've finally got clarity, the chance for a great new start here. And I'm feeling it could require you to communicate somehow verbally or with words. Okay, so that's coming through for me. So perhaps there's a job which might require some public speaking, or if it's a relationship, perhaps it's you've been given the go-ahead to really communicate your feelings to someone in a matter-of-fact way, which is, I know, what you like to do, Aries, but we'll clarify that a little more closely later. Your challenge for the second half of December, you have the Page of Swords. Okay, so another sword. So because this is a page, you may not understand quite the right way to go about this. So you may be feeling a little over your head in the way you communicate something. And because this is in your challenge position, you're being asked to just choose your words very carefully. The page energy can be quite immature and perhaps use the wrong words sometimes, or say too much, or perhaps not even enough. So what you're being asked to do with this is to just be not so much guarded with your communication, but be very careful about what you say and perhaps how you say it. Okay. Sometimes you might be required to say something against the norm. Okay, so you've probably got something itching away at you, and you might have to be speaking up against what everyone else is doing, and they might feel that you are perhaps a little bit inexperienced. They might feel that you haven't been around the traps long enough, or perhaps you're not fully qualified yet, so your opinion might not count as much as others. And so the challenge is for you to just take that on board. And so perhaps rather than assert something straight out and forcefully, perhaps it might be a better move to suggest something might be true than something is true for sure, if you know what I'm saying. So they can be more persuasive that way, to suggest something might be true rather than to assert flat out that there's no other way and it must be true. Okay, that's just what's coming through there. Okay, in your fears position, oh hello, you have the Six of Cups. Sorry, this is a new deck here, the new Celtic deck, a beautiful deck. So the Six of Cups here. So there seems to be a fear of going back to the past. So you've come out of this situation and you don't want to move forward if it takes too much baggage from the past with you. And so this Ace of Swords that you had in your beginning, I'm thinking that had something to do with it. So you've got the Ace of Swords here, which has given you clarity and you're feeling confident about moving forward. Okay, you might need to speak against the grain. This one here is, it looks like you're, because the Six of Cups talks about nostalgia, talks about looking back sometimes. It's quite often a positive card, but because this is in your fears position, you don't want things to look back. You want to move forward, and perhaps you're feeling that those around you are carrying too much stuff from the past instead of moving forward and perhaps taking a lead, a fresh lead. And Aries, because you are the pioneer of the zodiac, you don't like taking a lot of baggage with you. So that could resonate for you, I'm thinking. We'll try and clarify some of these. Okay, so the best attitude for you to take. You have the Four of Swords. So for the second half of December, or whatever this matter is that is concerning you at the moment, the best attitude to take is to sit back and reflect a little bit. So perhaps wait for the answers to come, or wait for the right timing. There might be things going on in the background which you don't quite know about, but the best attitude to take here is to just take it easy and chill. And we know, Aries, that that's not your style, but I'm getting the feeling you just might need to wait and see, or I'm thinking also plan a little bit more than you might normally. So wait until you've got all that information that you need. So you do have some clarity. Now it's just about working out the right way to go about things. So we'll clarify that. Now the result at the end of the month, or the period generally, you have the Four of Pentacles. Okay, now look at this. Look at this character in the Four of Pentacles. He's out there by himself, but he's got his money or his ideas or his shields. This is the Four of Shields in this deck, but the Pentacles generally represent material things, and that's what equates to that in this deck. Now, the city is behind him. He's away from that, so perhaps he's stood his ground somewhere. He's holding on to his ideas, but his ideas might be leaving him left out in the cold. So he's keeping a hold nevertheless. We'll find out whether he's enjoying this or not. You don't mind going it alone, Aries, and so if you're sitting there and you've stood your ground, then that might be something that makes you feel pretty good. But we'll go around now and just have a look and see, clarify some of these, see where they might take us. It's looking like you've got a bit of a challenge ahead. You're going to have to go against the grain with something, some idea or some new thing. You want to take leadership, but you're feeling that others don't quite have faith in you. Okay, let's have a look and see, why is the Ace of Swords here? What is the Ace of Swords here for Aries, second half of December? Okay, you have the Eight of Pentacles. All right, so this is a work issue I'm feeling. Okay, the Eight of Pentacles here talks about just getting the work done, chipping away at things, and you seem to know what you're doing. Okay, because this is in the way you are entering the second half of December. You know what you're doing with the Ace of Swords. You have that clarity there, and you've got these Eight of Pentacles here, and you're getting on with the job. Okay, so you clearly know what you're doing there, all right? And you might just have to persuade these other people around you that you do know what you're doing, or perhaps just show them, lead by example from the front, as you do, Aries. So look, why is the Page of Swords here? What might this challenge be about? Why is a page in the challenge position for Aries? Okay, you have the Six of Shields, the Six of Pentacles. Okay, so that's talking about balance, and you might have to be choosing about priorities. Okay, so the challenge will be about convincing people about where to place the priorities on things. So it's clearly a work issue, so it could be something about how to spend time or manpower or something in a project at work, or how best to spend the last few days of the year leading up to Christmas. So something like that. Okay, so it's looking like it's a question of balance and who should get what, or what aspects of the business or project should get what importance and priority. And it's saying that you might have to persuade people of your case, like we said. So you've got these. Okay, so you have the page here, and if that's you, you're trying to convince these people about your ideas of how to allocate these resources. Sorry about that, urgent family business. You understand, I'm sure. Okay, so as I was saying, you've got these two energies here, and your responsibility will be to try to persuade people of your way of seeing things, about how things are to be allocated, if you like. Now, we have here in the fears position the Six of Cups or Six of Cauldrons, and you don't want this to happen. You don't want people to bring too much baggage from the past. Okay, can we clarify this question? Why is the Six of Cauldrons in the fears position for Aries for the second half of December? You have here, okay, the Nine of Pentacles. Okay, so the Nine of Pentacles talks about independence. Okay, so you want a certain level of autonomy in whatever you're doing here, and it looks like by people hanging around from the past or not letting go of something, that's interfering with your independence and the progress that you want to make as an individual, so you can put your stamp on things. So that's what that looks like it's saying to me. And sometimes it might just be about a gradual transition. So you might be feeling as that you just want to get the ball and go and run with it, when there are perhaps some bureaucratic or paperwork or transitional matters which seem to be slowing you down a little bit, and that feels what that is there. So you'll know what that is if that's resonating with you. Okay, if that's landing. Okay, so the Four of Swords, in the best attitude position, you've been asked to just sit back, wait and see with the Four of Swords. Okay, so can we please clarify the Four of Swords for Aries for the second half of December? Okay, you have the Seven of Swords. Okay, so Seven of Swords often represents some deception somewhere, something that's also not clear, and someone who's not taking responsibility. So there could be someone in your midst, and perhaps it's even you haven't quite taken responsibility. Okay, but I'm feeling it's somebody else, and something needs to be cleared up from what they've done. So if you wait and see, let the dust settle on something, then someone might be found to have been lacking in honesty, if you like. Not necessarily that they've done anything wrong, but perhaps they've covered something up and they might be found out about it. So if you wait around just long enough for the truth to come out, then you should be in a pretty good position by the end of this to be able to move forward. Okay, now in your outcome position, we have the Four of Pentacles, and I was saying that you might be feeling a little left out of things. So you may have won some kind of an argument, or you've got something to hang on to from whatever this job or this conflict. It seems like there's a bit of a conflict here. It's more like a slowing down of things, and you're trying to stand your ground here, and you don't want to give these pentacles to just anybody. You want to balance them and allocate them according to how things should be done, and that might be, it seems to be making the story here that it might be making you a little bit of a persona non grata, to bring some Latin in. I think that's Latin. And let's have a look and see if we can clarify that Four of Shields, the Four of Pentacles. Okay, yes, and you have the Nine of Wands. Okay, so it looks like you're going to have to go into battle. You've done this before. You're quite capable here. You know, you've got a couple of battle scars, but you know what you're doing. Okay, so it looks like you're going to be standing your ground. You're going to live to fight another day and get through this. Let me see if I can clarify this a little bit further. So it looks like by the end of this month, this issue, this problem, this conflict might still be going on. I don't think it's not feeling like a big issue here. I don't think there are any major arcana here. So it's sort of a run-of-the-mill daily kind of challenge that people go through. Nothing to get too upset about. But let's see if we can finish this off here with how are things going to end up at the end of the month with Why is the Nine of Wands here? Well, the Nine of Wands and the Four of Pentacles here. And we have, okay, the Three of Shields. So Three of Pentacles, it's looking like teamwork. So you may not win this argument. You may be forced to actually work with people that you don't necessarily want to work with. But Aries, you're not the kind to hold a grudge against people. So I'm pretty sure once you've had your little say at things and your chance at persuading someone, and I'm not thinking you're going to be totally unsuccessful. You're going to be successful, but someone might pull rank on you, or the books and the rules might win. I'm surprised there's no Hierophant here. And but at the end of the day, you're going to probably have to cooperate with others where you might be thinking that you'd be better off to do this by yourself. So that's what I've got for you for the second half of December, Aries. Please let me know if this has resonated for you somehow. I'll try and get a Christmas reading in for you. Until then, have a wonderful Christmas if I don't see you before then. And please like and give me any comments and subscribe, please. All the best.